Hey, Padres and Chargers take a back seat tonight. It is my great honor to welcome iconic jockey Patrick Valenzuela to the KUSI paddock. Patrick, with over 4,200 wins and more than 160 million in purses won. Patrick, welcome to KUSI.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. It's very nice to be here.
How busy are you when on days when the track is dark? How busy are you today?
Well, today the track was dark, but I went to the racetrack to help the chaplaincy serve the backside workers. We had a barbecue.
Cool.
We served 700 people today in the infield, and I did a lot of cooking with some carne asada. I might be a little sunburned on my head, but we had fun.
You know, those guys are the unsung heroes on the backstretch there. That's very cool that you guys do that. You know, every time I watch you in action or any of your competitors in action, I think of this movie scene from Dr. Strangelove. The actor Slim Pickens as Major Kong riding an atom bomb on the way to the Earth there, riding a big horse with other horses around. Is it a similar experience?
Well, it's quite a thrill, really. I mean, you got a 1,000-pound animal underneath you, a wild animal at that, and sometimes they can turn into rockets and flip out on you. So every horse has their own individual personality, and you just got to go with the flow. You know, I mean, they're wild animals, but they're bred to run, and they feel like rockets coming down the stretch.
Yeah, I bet. You first rode in the Derby at the tender age of 17, and now 31 years later, you're still in the saddle. I don't care about Cal Ripken. I mean, how do you do it, man?
I think you're giving my age away there, Paul. But it's a blessing, really. It's a blessing. I've been blessed throughout my life to be a jockey. God gave me the ability to be a good jockey and to get along with thoroughbreds and to get them to perform to the best of their ability, because they're the ones doing most of the work. We're just the pilots trying to get them to the wire first, trying to get them to perform to the best of their ability.
When your name comes up, Sunday Silence is not far behind. We have video of the '89 Derby and the Preakness. The Derby, of course, the big deal, but a lot of folks consider the Preakness one of the 10 best races of all time. Which do you rather discuss, or I imagine you like to discuss them both, huh?
Well, I love both races because I won them both, but that race right there was probably, from a jockey's point of view, I gave myself a little bit of a pat on the back on that one because it was a great race. It was a race that I will never forget, and a horse I'll never forget. Sunday Silence was a true great racehorse.
You know, Patrick, your numbers are impressive, but they'd be even more impressive. You lost over 7 years of your career to drug and alcohol suspensions. I'd be interested, what is your message to folks who are dealing with the same demons you have now conquered?
Well, my message would be, no matter how far down you go, don't ever lose your faith. If I can make it back after all the years that I've been suspended and had my demons take advantage of me, I think if you just keep your faith and keep on the straight and narrow and talk to people about it, it'll all get better. And no matter how far down you go, always know that there's faith and you have God in your life, you can make it happen.
You know, it wasn't that long ago we thought we might not ever see you race again in California. Now you're back at Del Mar. Where does Del Mar rank in your top 10 of tracks?
Well, it's right there on top. I mean, I love Del Mar. I love Santa Anita. The atmosphere, the city of San Diego is such a beautiful city. I mean, it's a great place to come race right by the ocean. I mean, you get that ocean breeze while you're on a racehorse. And the fans there are incredible. I mean, I have a lot of fanfare here in San Diego, and whenever I hear them say my name coming out of that paddock, I feed off that energy. It really feels good.
Patrick, you were in the Battle of the Sexes with Julie Crone. They recently had the Battle of the X's. Your thoughts about that race?
The Battle of the X's was a match race that Mike Smith won coming out of the gate. Mike Smith rode a great race that day. He came out of the gate quick. He took advantage of the race, and he kind of put him to sleep going down the backside and opened up coming through the stretch. Mike did a great job with that horse, and he was a better X that day, I guess.
Patrick, we have 30 seconds left. Everyone talks about how dangerous sport football is. I'd rather face Ray Lewis in a dark alley than do what you do for a living. What scares you about racing?
It scares me is that I may not win another race. That was the only thing that scares me. I mean, if you're going to go out there with fear, you're going to hurt somebody or you're going to hurt yourself. So you got to go out there and go balls to the wall and do the best you can.
All right, Patrick, we have to say goodbye. Just better movie, Seabiscuit or Secretariat? One word.
Secretariat.
All right. Patrick, thank you for being in the paddock with us. Man, I'll tell you what, I've been watching that man do his thing for a long, long time, and to have him in our studio.
What a treat.
Yeah. I'm like a little cheerleader.
He's like, you've been talking about this for days, Paul.
Go away, Paul, go away. Running of the $1 million Pacific Classic. Patrick Valenzuela aboard acclamation, edging favorite Twirling Candy at the wire for the win. And back by popular demand, is the winning jockey, Patrick Valenzuela P-Val. Well, I guess, how sweet is it?
Very sweet, Paul. It was a great day. As a matter of fact, it was the same day as my 1-year anniversary with my fiance.
Oh, well, all right. But we're going to get to the ride in a moment. We'll take you around the track. But first, I want to start in the winner's circle. You have to explain this post-race soundbite.
You know, ever since I came on KSUI, I've been very fortunate. You know, Paul, I think I'm going to take your job.
I want you to look at the lower portion of the screen. It's KUSI.
Hey, Paul, we all make mistakes, right? I'm only human.
All right, we're gonna pick up the race in the backstretch. Come on, take us around the track. What was going on through your mind?
Well, right here I'm setting the pace. I'm trying to get as relaxed as I could. I had Game On Dude right beside me. Chantal Sutherland was on him. I was afraid she'd put too much pressure on me and set it up for the late closing horses. But my horse picked it up really nice going into the turn right here. I knew I had plenty of horse. I wanted to itch away from her, keeping my advantage. At that point, I had to go full throttle from here on because I could hear her horse creeping up on me. I could also feel the presence of trolling Candy outside of her. So I had to keep my advantage at that point. Here he floated out a little bit entering the stretch, but he accelerated really well at the same time, and he just kicked on home very strongly.
Patrick, tell us kind of a nuanced thing you did with the whip here to get your horse to run harder.
Well, I never hit him with a whip. I just showed him the whip. And a lot of times when a horse gives 110%, you don't want to have to hit him with a whip. When he's giving you all he's got, there's no use in hitting him.
Great race, great moment. But we're going to go back 20 years ago. We're just going to wipe to the video. This is the ride with Best Pal. Which day was more special, or is that impossible to answer?
Well, both the days were great. You know, the inaugural running was Best Pal, and that was John Mabey's horse. He was the president of Del Mar. He put this race on. It was the first $1 million race at Del Mar. And for me to be part of that, the inaugural running, and to win it on a 3-year-old against older horses was an accomplishment in itself.
And an amazing come-from-behind win, indeed.
It was. He ran very good that day. And, you know, to compare it to Sunday, Sunday was a great day because it was 20 years later. I'm an older man now. I've got great business, great horsemen behind me, and it was a very special day. And to boot, like I said, my 1-year anniversary with my fiance was awesome.
Patrick, while we're going down memory lane and we're talking the year '91, I have to confess, we were talking when we first met weeks ago, and we were talking about a horse called Arazi at Churchill Downs. I did not know the race, but I made it a point to go to YouTube and look it up. Folks, watch this and listen, and we'll talk about it in a moment.
Pine Bluff is only 3 lengths from the lead. Arazi hits his best stride, and there goes the European star Arazi, and he's coming with a menacing rush to Bertrando, and now the stage is set as they move toward the top of the stretch, and Arazi runs right by him.
Patrick, we're going to watch this finish of this race. You went from last, 20 lengths back, and won by 10 lengths. Was that the most amazing ride of your life?
That was the most electrifying feeling that I've ever had on a racehorse. I mean, I was so far back down the backside, and I just smooched to him a little bit, and he took off. I thought I was playing pole position with horses.
I mean, that was, folks, go to YouTube and check it out. It's absolutely incredible. Patrick, your tender age of 48, you bridged the gap between the iconic jockeys and the current crop right now. I'm going to show you some pictures. You tell me what comes to mind. I think we're starting here with Mr. Schumacher.
Mr. Bill Shoemaker was probably one of the greatest riders that ever lived. He a very smart rider. You always had to have a lot of horse to get by him because he always had horse left at the finish.
And then we have, I think, Lafitte Pinkai coming up.
Well, Lafitte Pinkai was probably by far the strongest rider I've ever ridden with. I mean, the strength, he was poetry in motion on a horse. When he rode a horse, there was no energy wasted on either part.
And then we have Russell Bays.
Russell Bays is a very hard worker. He's the most winningest rider in the United States. He's just committed to the sport, and he's just a great guy and an honest rider, and he works hard. Very good rider.
You know, we were here on your last visit. We were talking about horse movies, and we had to cut the interview short. But you picked Secretariat over Seabiscuit. You wouldn't believe the amount of email I got. Everyone would say, no, Seabiscuit was better. Why did you like the Secretariat movie better?
Well, first of all, I want to clarify that I love both movies. I love horse racing movies, all horse racing movies. But to me, the story when Penny, the owner of Secretariat, inherited the farm, and had to take over the farm for her dying father, and then had to sell the farm to get money because the farm was going broke. She won the coin toss with Ogden Phipps, who owned a lot of big horses and still does to this day. And to win the coin toss and to get Secretariat out of it, he was a special horse. He was a great horse. And I think if you really put a match race with those two horses together, Secretariat and Seabiscuit, I'd have to think that Secretariat would have won.
So yeah, probably it was a much bigger horse.
Well, he had a bigger heart too. They did a autopsy on him when he died.
Yeah, abnormally big, right?
Abnormal heart. Yeah, he had a very big heart, and the horse was just a running machine.
All right, so it's been a magic meet for you as we wind down here. Kind of give us an idea what your schedule's like, and I mean, really, what a great meet. How do you build on something like this?
Well, you always try to build on big days like Sunday, and hopefully business keeps building. And I just put my best foot forward and try to do the best I can on a horse, you know. And I'll do it this week on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I'm gonna go out there and win all the races I can and make you, the fans, all the money you can make.
Okay, Patrick, it's KUSI. How do you want to sign off the interview tonight?
I want to say, stay classy, San Diego.
On KUSI.
KUSI.
Patrick, it has been a hoot to get to know you. I hope we get to do these kind of interviews over and over again.
I love San Diego, and I love being here at KUSI.
All right, Patrick Valenzuela. Sunday afternoon, on top of riding acclamation. Patrick Valenzuela aboard winning the 21st Pacific Classic. Patrick's so excited he's coming back to KUSI tomorrow at 6 p.m. to talk all about it, to win the Pacific Classic twice, 20 years apart. Well, that's no small feat.
It's been 20 years since I won this race, but it feels the same today. You know, when I won in Best Pal in 1991, I did a celebration after the race. It was crazy, and I think I did the same thing today. Well, it looked like Trilling Candy, I guess everybody said it looked like he was going to beat me, but he had every opportunity to beat me. He got to me at the 16th pole. He collared me, my horse stuck his neck out and just tried harder. So he could have went around again, and I don't think he would have caught me. You know, ever since I came on KSUI, I've been very fortunate. You know, Paul, I think I'm going to take your job.
P-Val, the first thing we're going to talk about are the call letters of the station. Expect that question tomorrow at 6 p.m.